okay? For instance, you'll see a guy headlining at the Spear. They probably be getting a couple of $1 million. But you'll see a guy on the undercard of a big show probably making more money than that guy.
Floyd, I saw a thing this morning, him talking about keeping his money clean, stuffing hundreds of thousands of dollars in a plastic bag. These guys don't need money. A lot of times when you get these great champions fighting well past their prime, it's to make cash.
Terence Crawford will whoop his ass. He would beat Floyd Mayweather. I'm telling you right now, he will beat Floyd Mayweather too.
Terence Crawford has openly dismissed the idea of fighting Floyd Mayweather, making it clear that such a matchup holds no appeal to him. He explained that these kinds of talks are less about proving greatness and more about generating hype for financial gain. Crawford suggested that Mayweather's focus after retirement has shifted toward exhibitions and money-driven events rather than true competition. While acknowledging Floyd's era of dominance, Crawford emphasized that this current era belongs to him. He added that he won't allow money-centered demands to distract from the legacy he has already built in boxing.
How you be sizing niggas up, bro. Keep it a stack. Did you in your head size up Floyd? Like, you know what I'm saying? If we was ever, keep it real, boss. Keep it real.
I'm never that type of guy. I think that's some grimy shit. Always been happy for him, been a fan of his, and I never imagined us fighting. Yeah. I never looked at him like, man, I know I'll beat this.
Boy, you capping, bro. I never thought like fantasy fight me versus Floyd. Nah.
Never. I never just was with a person and looked at him like, man, I'll beat his ass. Never. That's some hating type shit to me.
Like plotting.
I ain't never been that type of person ever.
Critics claim that Floyd Mayweather's recent boxing appearances are driven more by financial incentives than by sporting legacy. Once praised for his unmatched defensive skills and perfect record, Mayweather has shifted toward exhibition bouts that bring in massive paydays but hold little competitive value. Observers also note how frequently he flaunts his wealth, pointing out that he doesn't even need these fights for income, yet still chooses to pursue them. For many fans, this signals that in retirement his focus has moved away from meaningful competition and toward money-making ventures, an evolution that has left some feeling disappointed.
Floyd, I saw a thing this morning, him talking about keeping his money clean, stuffing hundreds of thousands of dollars in a plastic bag. These guys don't need money. A lot of times when you get these great champions fighting well past their prime, it's to make cash. We see it a lot. These two don't seem to need the money. So I don't understand the need to do this. When talked about it, Mike Tyson said, I still can't believe Floyd wants to really do this. It's going to be detrimental to his health, but he wants to do it. So it's signed and it's happening. Hey, when Mike fought Jake Paul, a lot was made of him being 58 years old. He's in tremendous shape. I mean, I saw him, and even in there, right? He couldn't get going at the rate that he expected, but early, he was fighting like Mike Tyson. Floyd Mayweather's much younger, but he's so much smaller. So I get why Mike is like, yo, I don't know what this dude wants to do. Because there was a world where no one would ever thought that those guys would end up in the ring together. And again, they don't need money. I imagine, though, it's going to be a boatload of money.
Former world champion Timothy Bradley has been very direct in his thoughts on a potential matchup between Terence Crawford and Floyd Mayweather. Bradley argued that Mayweather often found southpaws difficult to deal with, and Crawford's versatile, switch-hitting style would create major problems. He highlighted Crawford's timing, adaptability, and ability to adjust mid-fight as weapons that could break through even Mayweather's famous defense. Bradley went as far as to suggest that Mayweather's aura of being untouchable wouldn't hold against someone as dynamic as Crawford, comments that have only added more fuel to the ongoing debates among boxing fans.
Absolutely, but Terence Crawford will whoop his ass. He would beat Floyd Mayweather. I'm telling you right now, he will beat Floyd Mayweather too. He will beat him too. He got everything it takes to beat Floyd. Floyd struggled in the first half against Zab Judah. Zab Judah, a damn terrific fighter, but he ain't no damn Terence Crawford. Especially from the southpaw position. Floyd didn't like fighting southpaws. Floyd reached with that right hand. You think he's gonna reach against one of the best back foot counter punches in the game? He gonna reach with that right hand against Crawford? He gonna get slept reaching with that backhand. The way he reaches with that. That level change backhand he throws too? No, man, that pull jab he does too, that ain't gonna work. That is not gonna work. Floyd got a 72-inch reach. Yeah, he had quickness, fast reflexes. However, Crawford got all of that too. He got all of that too. And he got a 75-inch reach. Great counterpuncher. Can concentrate all night. Can put pressure on Floyd. He can even invite Floyd in. Yep. I noticed. Floyd's not having success. He started to step on the gas. That's what he do. And he gonna run into problems with Crawford because Crawford hits harder than him. Crawford is the most complete fighter that I've ever witnessed in real life.
On the other side of the debate, many analysts argue that comparing Terence Crawford to Floyd Mayweather is unfair. They point out that Mayweather's resume features a long list of elite opponents across multiple eras, while Crawford has not consistently faced the same level of competition. From this perspective, the comparison lacks balance. Crawford's accomplishments, though impressive, have not yet reached the historical weight of Mayweather's. These critics emphasize that Floyd's greatness is already firmly established, whereas Crawford is still adding to his legacy and should not be placed on the same pedestal too soon.
Everybody acting like Bud is the second coming of Mayweather. Y'all got the game fucked up. Mayweather actually didn't get hit. Bud gets hit by dudes that, who on Bud's resume is an equivalent of someone on Floyd's resume? So that's it right there. You know what I'm saying? Floyd not getting hit by elites, Bud getting hit by non-elites, and somehow y'all think Canelo not about to touch him.
Boxing commentator Showbiz the Adult shared a bold take, arguing that Terence Crawford deserves to be ranked above Floyd Mayweather for one key reason. He pointed to Crawford's victory over Canelo Alvarez, noting that Floyd, despite his greatness, was far more selective with his opponents and would not have taken such a dangerous fight under similar circumstances. Showbiz emphasized that Crawford moved up in weight to face Canelo while the Mexican star was in his prime, a risk Mayweather likely would have avoided. In his view, that willingness to embrace danger elevates Crawford's legacy beyond Mayweather's carefully managed career, a perspective that challenges the idea of Floyd being untouchable in boxing history.
Is Terence Bud Crawford greater than Floyd Mayweather? Or better than Floyd Mayweather? Greater is a little bit different. Greater is impact, resume, all that shit, but better. Terence Bud Crawford, after what he did last night, is better than Floyd Mayweather because there is no way Floyd Mayweather would attempt to do that crazy shit. See, that's the insane Sugar Ray Leonard versus Marvelous Marvin Hagler after being gone for 5 years type shit. Never being at middleweight, first fight at middleweight, being against Marvelous Marvin Hagler. Terence Bud Crawford, never been on middleweight shit. The most he's been is super welterweight, and he was only there once. And he's fighting at 168 against one of the greatest super middleweights of all time, one of the greatest middleweights of all time, pound for pound, one of the greatest fighters of all time, reigning undisputed champion at super middleweight. That is unheard of, and that's something that Floyd Mayweather wouldn't even attempt to do.
Terence Crawford has openly expressed his frustration with the constant comparisons to Floyd Mayweather. He's been clear that he has no interest in facing Floyd, stressing that Mayweather had his own era and that time has passed. Crawford believes the current era belongs to him, and fans should focus on the history he's making right now instead of looking backward. While he respects Floyd's accomplishments, Crawford feels it's unfair to overlap their legacies. In his view, Mayweather is retired and past his prime, while he himself is still in the midst of building his dominance.
Is going to start making comparisons with your legacy to Floyd Mayweather. How do you feel you compare with Floyd with the resume you have now?
Listen, Floyd was the greatest in his era. I'm the greatest in my era. It ain't no need to compare me to Floyd or Floyd to me.
You talk the talk and you sure walk the walk. Your confidence and aura is on another level. Could we see a run as a light heavyweight?
Nah, we ain't going up that much.
Now,
Danny Garcia, who's been in the ring with some of the sport's best, gave a very balanced take when asked about a potential Mayweather versus Crawford matchup. Rather than picking a winner, Garcia predicted the fight could realistically end in a draw. He reasoned that Mayweather's elite defense and Crawford's ability to adjust offensively might neutralize each other, leaving neither man with a decisive edge. Garcia's view highlights the immense respect both fighters carry, and adds yet another wrinkle to the ongoing debate over who would truly come out on top.
Crawford has the tools to beat him. He has the long arms. He switches lefty and righty, but Floyd was pinpoint accuracy, tremendous defense. I just think whoever that at 147, that's tough. I don't know. A draw.
Okay, what about Oscar De La Hoya and Crawford at 54?
Oh man, Oscar was a hell of a fighter, man. I think they could beat each other, to be honest. I think Oscar could beat him. Oscar's a hell of a fighter. He got great jab, good footwork. Oscar was a tremendous fighter. I feel like people really overlook his resume. He's an Olympic gold medalist. That's the hardest thing probably to get. It's harder than the world title.
Former world champion Shane Mosley weighed in on the fantasy matchup, suggesting that Floyd Mayweather's size could be a major disadvantage against Terence Crawford. Mosley acknowledged Floyd's technical brilliance, but argued that Crawford's reach, strength, and versatility would be too much to overcome. He pointed out that Crawford's ability to switch stances and dictate range could neutralize Mayweather's trademark defense. In Mosley's view, the difference comes down to physicality. Floyd excelled against opponents his size, but facing a naturally bigger, stronger Crawford would tilt the balance. His take underscores how size can be just as decisive as skill in hypothetical battles.
Even though I've got serious personal differences with Terence Crawford, and I have ethical issues with Terence Crawford in the way that he negotiated certain things and certain things went down. However, at this point in his career, and I really believe since he's at 135 pounds, there's no question in the greatness and how terrific a fighter he is. So after he beats Canelo Alvarez and becomes the undisputed champion in his third weight division, people start asking the question of whether or not he's better than Floyd Mayweather Jr. And I think that is a fair question. And the reason that I say that is because they're the same size. They're the same size. They fought by and large in the same weight classes, and dominated right after one another. Really, there was the period of Andre Ward in between them. I would love to throw Andre Ward in the conversation, but I don't think that the comparison is as clean and easy to make between Terence Crawford and Andre Ward as it is between Terence Crawford and Floyd Mayweather Jr. Just again, because of the similarity in the weight classes that they fought in. So when Shane Mosley chimed in and talked about the two, my ears perked up. Perked up because if you recall, Shane Mosley was the one that gave Floyd Mayweather Jr. his most dangerous fight, without a doubt. His most dangerous fight, the one where Shane Mosley landed on Floyd Mayweather 2 times and rocked him in the first round. Shane was an older fighter. Floyd bared down and won the fight.
Showbiz the Adult added a thoughtful perspective to the Crawford-Mayweather debate. He acknowledged that Crawford's win over Canelo Alvarez has fueled arguments about whether his legacy rivals or even surpasses Floyd's. Still, Showbiz warned against reducing the conversation to a single fight. He emphasized that legacies are built over time, through consistency, level of competition, and long-term impact on the sport. While he praised Crawford's achievement as historic, he reminded fans that Mayweather's career represents decades of sustained dominance across divisions. His take strikes a balance, giving Crawford his flowers while also respecting the depth of Floyd's established legacy.
A heavyweight to my Mount Rushmore. My Mount Rushmore is best boxers. Greatest is different. Greatest is impact. Now you're talking Floyd Mayweather, you're talking Muhammad Ali, you're talking, all those guys, Sugar Ray Robinson, everybody. But this is best. And sadly, when it comes to the heavyweight division, just by nature, the little guys are the better guys, okay? Not only are they better skill-wise, they have more opportunity to do greater things. Because they're small, they could go up weight classes, they can kind of test themselves more. The heavyweight division is at the top of the mountain, all right? So they're the badasses of the badasses. You kind of go up to them, but they can't push themselves up much more, except for within their weight classes. They fight a very big guy or whatnot, like Usyk did with Tyson Fury.
Trainer Stephen Breadman Edwards offered a grounded take on the ongoing debate. He urged fans and media to stop forcing comparisons between Terence Crawford and Floyd Mayweather, stressing that Crawford's win over Canelo was a once-in-a-lifetime achievement that deserves to be celebrated on its own. Edwards called out the immaturity of constantly trying to pit fighters against each other, reminding everyone that Mayweather is retired and no longer part of today's picture. In his view, the spotlight should remain on Crawford's accomplishments, giving him full credit without overshadowing it with endless what-if debates.
To Floyd.
You know, man, I don't really want to compare him right now, Hans, if we seeing everything that's going on with Floyd and Roy. You know what I mean? And, you know, they competitive guys. Next thing you know, Bud and Floyd to be mad at each other, man, and wanting to fight because people is like putting them against each other. Let's just enjoy the moment. I don't know. It's a close fight. You know, it's things Floyd do better. It's things that Bud do better. But I'd rather not say, because I'm not going to just lie and just say nothing, like, and make up something just to. I got my opinion on, you know, how the fights would go, and, you know, but I think we should just let the man enjoy his great moment. He's a great fighter. And I see a lot of immature stuff, and I don't like the way things is going with Floyd and Roy. They two guys that a lot of the younger guys look up to, and they taking shots at each other in the media because of the who's better and all that kind of stuff. So, you know, I just want to see Bud enjoy his moment. And, you know, unfortunately, they didn't fight. You know, they could have made, they kind of two different eras, though. Even though they was fighting at the same time, Floyd kind of was doing his different thing over there with PBC, and Bud's a lot young, about 10 years younger than him. So it didn't happen, and we got to just live with it. You know what I mean?
The boxing community remains split, with the debate showing no signs of slowing down. Supporters of Terence Crawford point to the risks he has taken, most notably moving up in weight to defeat Canelo Alvarez, as proof that he would have the edge over Floyd Mayweather. On the other side, many argue that Mayweather's flawless record and defensive brilliance can't be dismissed. In truth, both fighters represent greatness in different ways, standing as icons of their own eras with contrasting approaches to the sport. The very fact that this discussion continues proves how deeply both men have shaped boxing, each leaving behind a legacy that sparks admiration and endless debate.
Their arguments and admiration.
Terence Crawford's gonna win. I used to think that the size difference was too much, that Canelo Alvarez was like, man, how are they gonna do this? He's 168, Terence Crawford's 147. But seeing what I've seen from Canelo Alvarez and seeing what I've seen from Terence Crawford, and while Terence Crawford didn't look great in his last fight, he looked awesome against Errol Spence. But to me, Terence Crawford is as good as they come. He's another all-time great. He's a legend. He's one of the best that I've seen from a pound-for-pound standpoint. But to me, Terence Crawford, he's older, but a lot less wear and tear. He turned pro in 2008, but he has 41 fights to his name. Canelo Alvarez has 63. Canelo Alvarez also has taken more shots, has been in more wars, quote unquote, whereas Terence Crawford was just beating everybody's ass for a very long time. And almost all of his fights have been one-sided. And two, I think Terence Crawford's gonna beat him in September. I don't know how, but I think he's gonna win.
Terence Crawford's victory over Canelo Alvarez is often described as the defining moment of his career. Jumping up 2 weight divisions to challenge one of the era's most dominant champions was a gamble few would dare to take. Yet Crawford approached it with calm precision, proving not just his skill, but his fearlessness. The performance solidified his place among boxing's elite and sparked serious conversations about his standing among the all-time greats. For Crawford, that night was more than just another win. It was a legacy-defining statement, showing he was willing to take risks at the highest level and come out on top.
So Terence Crawford defeated Saul Canelo Alvarez to become the new, undisputed super middleweight champion and achieving GOAT status of his era. A lot of people are wondering now, what could be the next step for Terence Crawford? And to be honest with you, there's a couple options. The great man himself did state a move to middleweight division could be his next step. And of course, a certain someone caught wind of this. With this interview, Janabek posted this with 2 emojis with a thumbs up and an A-OK. And to be honest with you guys, I would love this matchup here. I mean, Janabek is one of the most feared and avoided boxers in the entire game today. And look, stylistically, this could be an absolute epic matchup. I mean, the boxing IQ and thunderous power in Janabek versus the GOAT himself. Who wouldn't want to see that? But of course, there are rumors that Carlos Adames could be Janabek's next opponent, and that could be a huge unification to see who's the top dog at 160. But after that, who knows, man? And of course, the next option could be the rematch between Saul Canelo Alvarez. And for me, I would absolutely love to see this. I mean, the first time round was absolutely amazing to see Terence Crawford achieve greatness. But to do it again, guys, who wouldn't want to see this? And to be honest with you, it could be even bigger than the first time round. Or option 3, in my opinion, could be retirement. I mean, what he's achieved in the game is absolutely unbelievable. Undisputed, not once, not twice, but 3 times, and defeating the guy, the man himself, Saul Canelo Alvarez, to achieve that. What more is there to achieve at this point right now, guys, honestly? But look, knowing Bud, I'm pretty sure retirement is out of the question. Well, at least for now. But after what he's achieved, no one can question what he decides to do next. And look, guys, for me, even if his next move is to go to middleweight, best believe I'll be there to watch it, guys. But guys, what's your thoughts about all this? And what do you think Terence Crawford should do next? Let me know.
That wraps it up for today's breakdown. Make sure to stay connected, and I'll catch you in the next